Hello and welcome to this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Abigail Mensah-Bonsu. I am the founder of the Moon Goddess Academy and the Moon Goddess Publishing. Welcome to a new week. This is a very powerful week, and I'm actually going to be continuing by using the runes, because what is happening, especially in the US with women's rights, is a big invitation for women. And I'm going to be sharing what is coming through soon, but it's a big invitation for women to truly step into their power as they are saying it to be, if that makes sense. Okay, so shall we begin? Let's just dive into it, right? One thing I always say is that we are, or I should say the consciousness of humanity, the global consciousness, is a reflection of our individual self. So our world within, whatever fears that we're experiencing within gets reflected out into the global consciousness. And we get to see these fears manifest into things that happen, right? To create more of that fear until you break that pattern. It's also, if you're feeling unworthy, if you're feeling lost, if you're not doing the inner work, this is where I'm actually going. If you're not doing the inner work, it is constantly being reflected into the global consciousness, right? We keep talking about how we're all one, right? So whatever we do on ourselves, whatever work we do, we choose to do, it gets reflected out into the bigger world, right? As above, as below, so within. As within, so without, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. So whatever, heaven is reflected onto earth constantly. Our inner world is always reflected into our outer world. I always explain it as a projector, right? Our inner world projects into the outer world, and it takes forms and it plays, right? So with what is happening right now with women's rights, I saw that coming in a way, and because we keep talking about divine feminine energy is rising, divine feminine is rising. But again, if you've heard me talk about this, not a lot of people truly understand what that means. Well, right now we're being given the opportunity to really step into our power rather than just talk about it. How do I know that the divine feminine is truly rising? When I look at a woman in her own element, in her world, that tells me a lot about the global consciousness, about the bigger picture of all women and the divine feminine. How you feel about yourself, how you continue to treat yourself, how you continue to talk to yourself, what you continue to tolerate, all reflects back out into the global consciousness. Where this is an invitation for women to truly step in fully into all they are unapologetically. And, today, just before I hopped on to do this, this goddess energy forecast, I was on a soul chat with a beautiful goddess who works with the goddess Lilith. And one of the things that came up, and for those of you who don't know who Lilith is known to be the original woman. She was the first one who was created with Adam. And Lilith was not created from the rib of Adam, but rather from the same mud that Adam came out from. This is the first time that, okay, before I go there, it's like, she wanted to be equal. She wanted equality in the relationship, right? She stepped into her power. She spoke her truth. And of course, she was cast, aside. And the story was rewritten where Eve came in and was created from the rib of Adam, kind of showing that she is almost like lesser, or Adam is in charge of her kind of thing, where Lilith was the opposite. Lilith was right there, the counterpart of Adam. And so as we're talking about this, as I'm listening to her talk about this, I noticed that these powerful goddesses are stepping up now in the divine feminine consciousness within women to help us to anchor this power, this truth of who we really are. And I keep hearing this. It is time for us to rewrite the story. It is time for us to rewrite the story. We can continue to believe in a story that says that we are lesser than, that we are not supposed to be speaking our truth, that there's no way we can contain and be that powerful, that we are not in charge of our own body and our choices. We can continue to believe and support that narrative, or we can choose to go within, tap into the truth that is within us, and bring that to the surface by speaking it out, by embodying it, by radiating it. This is a work, an individual work. Each of us are being invited to step it up, to step into our truth more, to step into our power more, to be seen more, to be heard more. Everything that you do, you are helping women as a whole to really amplify this powerful nature that we are. Just take that in, just breathe in with me. You know, I told my husband, I was like, this is the beginning of a bigger change. Every time we talk about changes, I think it's so easy to talk about the things we want to see change. But the question is, are we willing to truly do the work for the change? And I find it very interesting that this whole thing in the US with women's rights is happening in a time where Saturn is in retrograde. Coincidence? I don't think so. What structures need to go? What structures no longer serve us? What karmic cycle is coming to an end at this time? We've been doing this for a while. I feel like for like 3-4 years now, we've been going through, you know, these cycles, or we're seeing how these karmic cycles are coming around. And I'm very thankful that it's coming in one at a time for us to break through. And this is one of the big ones that are coming up for us to choose to break through. And we can do this together by doing the work individually. As a woman, look into your life. Where are you saying yes when you really want to say no? Where are you dimming your own light so that you can fit in? Where are you afraid to really speak your truth because you feel like you're going to stir things up? Where are you not being yourself because you're afraid of rejection? The beauty of this is that recognize these areas where you're not true to yourself. And we have these powerful goddesses who are stepping in to assist us, bolden us, empower us, so that we can make this move once and for all. We can create this change once and for all. I feel it. It's a big change, but it's a change that will affect that younger generation, young women, the girls who are growing up, who are watching all of this happen. So, are you willing to receive this invitation? Now we can, we can go into the blame game, like, oh, patriarchy and man this and man that. But instead of pointing our fingers outward, we need to bring that right back to us. How am I not being true to myself? How am I rejecting my own needs? How am I dimming my light? How do I feel? How do I create my life and my experiences so that I feel less done? Where in my life do I feel less than? And how can I step more and more into my power unapologetically? We have goddesses like Lilith. We have beloved Isis. We have Mary Magdalene. We have Joan of Arc. If you're familiar with all the dark goddesses, and when I say dark, I'm not talking about evil. I'm talking about goddesses who come in to help us to tap into our raw power, who we really are, and they help us to break through. Pay attention to which goddesses you're drawn to. And I want you to lean in even deeper than before and allow them to mentor you. Help, beloved Kalima, ask her to come in to break through any illusions that may be keeping you small in your life. Call in the goddesses to empower you in all the ways and areas in your life that you feel disempowered. And be willing to do the work and see where you are creating your own illusions and challenges. This is not like them coming in to do all the work for you. You are a powerful goddess. This is a co-creation. You step it up, they will step it up. This is the energy that we're in. It's no longer about just talking about it. It's so easy to talk about the divine feminine rising, but what that really means is you as a woman rising. That is the divine feminine rising. So how are you standing up? How are you rising? That is the invitation at this time. So are you ready to receive your message? Close your eyes, taking a deep breath in. Begin to breathe into your heart, breathe into your body. I see all the goddesses already here. So pay attention to how you feel, see, sense. If any goddesses appear to you, and just breathe and welcome them. This will be your mentor. Bring your awareness into your heart. Open up your crown and receive that beautiful light, that golden light from the heart of the Divine Father above, from heaven, all the way down. Let it anchor into your heart, continuing down through your body. Let it come out of your feet like crystal light roots. Let it enter into the earth, spreading through the earth with crystalline light until you reach the center of the earth, where the heart of the Divine Mother, and just plug right into her heart as she opens up and continues to pour into you her love, her protection, her power, her nurturing, all that she is, all that you are. And begin to drink this up through your roots, bring it up, up, up through your body, through your legs. Let it anchor into your heart. And from there, go ahead and call in your higher self to join in the party within your heart. And once she appears, you begin to see all three energies merge together. And the moment they come together, they expand, explode out, and create this beautiful crystalline bubble of light all around you. Breathe into the space where you're connected to heaven above, you're connected to earth below, you're connected to the Divine Mother, you're connected to the Divine Father, you're connected to your divine team, and you're connected to your own divinity, your own source of power. Now this time so bring your awareness past your root chakra, so past your feet. You will see another ball of light. This is your earth star. And see this ball of light. If yours is not activated, see Divine Mother and Divine Father, just their light and love just flow into the earth star and activate it. So it's the brightest star you can ever imagine underneath your feet, right below your earth chakra, or your root chakra. Bring that light up, let it move through your chakras all the way up, and let it anchor within your heart. And now go above your crown chakra and notice another star. This is your solar star. And there receive all that you need to remember, all that you need to know to help you to step in more into the truth of who you are, more into your power. And see that light, that star shine bright. This is your soul star. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. And bring that light, let it go through all of your chakras and let it anchor within your heart. And from there, let that light radiate out all around you. And now, with your hand on your heart, breathe into this space, breathe into this ball of light, this portal within your heart. Feel centered, whole, protected, true. And from here, go ahead and ask, which of these messages is for me this week? 1, 2, or 3. And once you have received your number or numbers, go ahead and take in a deep breath in and out. Open your eyes with an open heart, open mind, and receive your message for the week. All right, so if you received 1, and we're working with the rooms again this week. So I'm actually, let's go ahead and pull them all out. And 3. All right. All right, so if you received 1, your rune for the week is the rune of growth. Let's see here, there you go. The rune of growth and rebirth. And this rune represents the birch tree. So here is the message. Ooh, I love this, okay. Another of the cycle runes. So this is part of the cycle runes, which that alone is like perfect, right? It's called Berkana, and Berkana represents a form of fertility that fosters growth both symbolically and actually. The growth may occur in affairs of the world, family matters, the relationship of the self, to the little self to the big self, from the little self to the big self, or to the divine. A rune that leads to blossoming and ripening. Berkana is concerned with the flow of beings into their new forms. Its action is gentle, penetrating, and pervasive. What is called for here is to consider your issue with care and awareness. First, disperse resistance, then accomplish the work. For this to happen, your will must be clear and controlled, your motives correct. Any dark corners should be cleansed. This must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. Modesty, patience, fairness, and generosity are called for here. Once resistance is dispersed and rectification carried out and seen to hold firm, then through steadfastness and right attitude, the blossoming can occur. So here it is, growth, rebirth, and the birch tree. And this rune is called Berkana. I love this. Okay, so let's go to number 2. All right, there we go. Ooh, I love this one. Okay, so if you receive 2, here is the rune. And actually, we received it reversed, so it looks like this. And this rune represents the warrior. And is also the rune for the sky god. So here's the message from this rune. Let's see here. The danger is that through hasty or ill-timed actions, life force leaks out or spilled away. If an association is short-lived, do not grieve. Know that it has fulfilled its span. Matters of trust and confidence are at issue here, and with them, the authenticity of your way of being in the world. And this rune is called Taiwas. Taiwas. So Taiwas reversed calls for examining your motives carefully. Is it self-conquest with which you are concerned, or are you trying to dominate another? Are you lusting after outcomes, or are you focused on the task for its own sake? You will find the answers within yourself, not outside, not in outside advice. When you consult the runes, you are consulting the self, an action appropriate to the spiritual warrior. And it's funny, it's like the two runes are like right next to each other. So again, we got it reversed. And so number 2 is Taiwas, and it's the rune that represents the spiritual warrior and also the sky god. Okay, so let's move to the third one. There we go. I love this rune. It's called Fehu. Fehu, and this one we also got it reversed. And so usually it will look like this, but we got it reversed, Fehu. And this rune is about possessions, nourishment, and cattle. So let's see what this message has for you this week. There may be considerable frustration in your life if you receive Fehu reversed. A wide range of dispossessions ranging from trivial to severe. You fall short in your efforts. You reach out and miss. You are compelled to stand by and watch helplessly while what you've gained dwindles away. Observe what is happening. Examine these events from an open perspective and ask, what do I need to learn from this in my life? What do I need to learn from this in my life? Even if there is occasion for joy, do not let yourself be seduced into mindless joyousness. Reversed, this rune indicates that doubtful situations are abundant and come in many forms and guises. Here you are being put in touch with the shadow side of possessions. Yet all this is part of coming to be and passing away, and not that which abides. In dealing with the shadow side of Fehu, you have an opportunity to recognize where your true nourishment lies. This is my rune, by the way, and it's so freaking right on. So right on. I love the last part. You have an opportunity to recognize where your true nourishment lies. So last weekend, we spent some time in the forest, and it was, I haven't seen Colorado this green in a long time. It was literally emerald green. The forest was pulsating, it was alive. And as we're driving through on the way back, you know, it was raining, like sprinkling a little bit. And we stopped, I stepped out, I took a deep breath in of that fresh air, and it just looking around me and feeling the green, that emerald green just pour into me. And in that moment, I realized that is my heart. Nature is my heart. Nature is my nourishment. I felt full. My heart was overflowing. As I tuned in, I feel like this experience imprinted within me because it's so alive within me. I connected to the forest much deeper than I have in the past. So this last part, you have an opportunity to recognize where your true nourishment lies. Like, it's so right on for me. I love these runes. You know, the runes remind me, the way you work with the runes is the same way you work with a tarot. They both remind you of the inner self, the truth of who you really are. That's why they can be so intense, because they don't sugarcoat. They show you exactly who you are. And that's why not a lot of people are comfortable working with the tarot or the runes, because they are deep. They will tell you the truth of who you are. So take your messages, let it anchor. If you need to re-listen to the messages, go back, listen to it again. And just like last time, I invite you to draw your symbol somewhere or create an art with the symbol to really help you to anchor the blessings and the wisdom that these runes are bringing to you, right? Draw them down. This is number 3, Fehu. Number 2, and we had it reversed. And then number 1, right? So draw it somewhere to anchor the wisdom that is coming through. All right, my loves, thank you again for listening to this week's Goddess Energy Forecast and, choosing to step into more of the beauty and the magnificence and the majesty of who you are. Every step that you take, every small yes that you say, the true yes that you say creates a bigger impact in the bigger consciousness. You got this. We all got this. We can make it through this. We will make it through this. We will create a change that benefits all. And we will see this. So much blessings to you, from my heart to yours. Until next time, you have a wonderful, blessed, powerful week.